Hey yo, it's your boy Justin Bieber here, and we're back at it again with another YouTube sensation, okay? We're gonna talk about the Jayber build. If you're an absolute lazy bum and you just want your turrets to basically dominate the battlefield, then this is the build for you. And when I say do nothing, I do mean do nothing. Just check this out, guys. Alright, if you don't care about the gameplay, then just go ahead and skip forward to the actual build segment. As you can see, the whole point of the build is to have as much uptime on the turrets as possible with the least amount of maintenance. From experience, I know how annoying it can be to have to constantly place the turrets out whenever they get destroyed. So that's why you want as much duration as possible. If you pair that with cooldown, you can have 100% uptime on your enhanced turrets with the overhaul buff. As long as you have enough duration and enough cooldown to where you can keep that buff up at 100%, then you will always be able to have enhanced turrets. And that's what the AoE ring is. Okay, so like I said earlier, the whole point of the build is to have as much uptime on the turrets as possible. You're going to want to have attacking compulsion so that you can have 2 assault turrets, which will replace your healing turret. All right, so we're going to also go increased HP for some survivability, time distribution for some skill cooldown and more max HP, nimble fingers for more skill cooldown. Now we're going to increase the damage of our turrets with non-attribute skill power and dimension skill power. Those 2 mods are going to increase our damage by a lot. You can pretty much put anything here, so if you have a preferred grapple, then just slot that in. This next mod could be changed out for anything, even multi-talented. I'm just using this for the 10.2% non-attribute skill power. Now we're going to increase our duration with skill extension, which is going to give us 36.5% skill duration. And then we're going to use maximize duration for another 40% increase. Now we're going to increase our range with skill expansion, which will give us 92.3% range. And that'll give us about 11.5 meters on the AoE. This next mod, Spear and Shield, I used for the 8.1% skill power increase to increase our turret's damage. And whenever I'm fighting bosses that I don't want to get burned or poisoned or frozen, I just swap this mod out for the immunities. And that pretty much wraps up the mods. Now let's take a look at what weapons you can use, as well as the reactor and the components. When it comes to the weapons, you can pretty much use whatever you want, but I'm currently using the Python for the debuff to the non-attribute resistance on the enemies. Now when it comes to the reactor, you're going to want non-attribute and dimension skill power boost on the top and bottom. I wasn't so lucky, so I have to deal with skill critical hit damage. For the components, I went with the Slayer set so that I can get the 26.1% increase to skill power. The reasoning for it is we're trying to get our turrets to do as much damage as possible. We're going to want max HP and MP recovery out of combat. That's going to help us with our upkeep on our turrets. On the sensor, we're going to want max MP and MP recovery in combat. For the memory slot, we're going to want shield recovery in combat to help us with survivability and MP recovery modifier. Our last piece, we're going to want shield recovery modifier and max shield for a little bit more survivability. I hope you guys enjoy the build. Happy hunting.